Fantastic. Show. I am Turch, and with me is my co-host, the CEO, the man with the groomsman speech.
Thank you.
It's Kieran. How you doing, buddy?
I feel like a king.
It's a pre-wedding show.
I feel like a king. You're a week away from getting married.
Yeah.
Which is very, very exciting.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, it'll be like 3 days away.
3 days away before you're getting married. I come over to your house. You fed me.
Yes.
You've done a wonderful, wonderful... We should be on MasterChef.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I can't win MasterChef because that took 9 hours of slow cooking.
No. We do MasterChef, but it would be more like the comedics MasterChef.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like we should be with the regulars and not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, you cooked a nice meal. It was delicious.
Went down well. Went down smooth.
I've had a couple of beers.
We have.
And this is very, very, very exciting. So
It very much is exciting times.
yeah. Are you excited about getting married?
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting day. Lots of surprises, lots of fun,
Yeah.
and lots of drinking and dancing.
I'm excited that there's gin.
There's a lot of gin.
A lot of gin to drink.
A lot of gin.
Yeah.
A lot of gin to drink. So it's very exciting. Then again, across the board, very excited. Excited to see all my family in one place. All my friends in one place. Getting them extra fat and extra liquored up.
Yeah.
And I hope you probably will be so tired afterwards. You probably just want to go home.
No, I'm partying. I'm going
But
out.
I hope to God that you go out.
Oh,
So I'm going home, man. I'm done.
yeah, you're done. The party will continue.
Perfect.
And next week I'll update everyone
That'll be amazing.
on the after wedding. I was very excited to hear that there's going to be 2 video cameras.
Oh yeah.
And that I will be able to film and record.
One's a GoPro, so you can like throw it around and do all that. The other's like a video camera, but they're all ready to go. They're charged, they're powered, they're ready to go. It's
gonna be great. So happy wedding for Saturday.
Thank
Turch.
you.
Do you have a rant?
Oh, I've just sort of got the whole episode's gonna be like rants.
Okay.
But like they're just stories that happen in the news.
Yeah.
And they turned into rants.
It turned into rants. Okay.
Yeah. Neil Young.
Ah. Right.
And Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people think they can take Joe Rogan down.
And they can't take Joe
They
Rogan
can't.
down.
Because before he was on Spotify, he was the biggest podcaster in the world.
Yeah.
And he got on Spotify and he only grew. Now, if they take him off Spotify, he doubles, just like Alex Jones did.
Yeah.
He doubles the amount of people that listen to him, right?
Yeah.
But everyone knows him. He's already the number one. Right?
And he will remain the number one. Wherever he goes, the audience...
Doesn't matter.
The audience will
We'll just
follow
follow.
him. If he says, I'm going on to Rumble,
Anywhere.
Rumble would explode.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't matter. He could go into BitChute.
Yeah.
And it would go off.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because it's Joe Rogan. He talks to fantastic people across the board. He's a fantastic interviewer. He's an interesting person in on himself. He's done a whole bunch from TV to comedy to MMA.
Do you know why I think he is really successful? Because Joe Rogan, when he started the podcast, he wasn't the wealthiest person in the world.
No.
But he said that he had enough. He had enough money to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have worries.
Yeah.
So I think when he started his
It's a passion thing.
Yeah, when he did his podcast, number one, he doesn't care if he gets like deplatformed.
No. Because he would just go anywhere that he wants.
Yeah, anywhere
He'll just make his own platform.
He's not worried about what he has to say to get a paycheck.
No.
And I think because of that,
He doesn't care.
he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And he's just been able to do exactly what he wants to do.
And that's the thing. He speaks to people that are doctors and experts, and also he has like, Bill Burr on and what's it, Diaz.
Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz.
Joey Coco Diaz.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you listen to those episodes. It's like, no one is gonna cancel you because of that episode.
Yeah.
It's all these quote anti-science or political scientists.
Yeah, political scientists.
Yeah.
Well, please don't put the word scientist with political.
But that's what they're
political
scientists that are political. They have chosen a
Sorry,
side.
I thought you meant political scientists as in people who are trying to turn politics into a science.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, there's those people, and they're stupid too. But it's all about accountants. That's what it's all about. Accountants and lawyers. They're the real. But like people, like scientists that become political.
Neil Young makes us $2 a year. Joe Rogan makes us $100 a year. We're going to stick with Joe Rogan.
So I'm going to go with Neil Young, right? I'm going to talk about that, and I'm not going to talk about. I don't care what Joe Rogan said. Like I listen to him on occasion. I used to listen to him religiously. Now I just listen to him on occasion if I like the guest. And I think that's how you treat it. I like this show. You should listen to every episode. But the reasoning why Neil Young wanted Joe Rogan off the platform. Now I'm not even going to talk about free speech.
Right.
The reason why Neil Young wanted Joe Rogan off the platform was because he was spreading medical misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not going to talk about the free speech angle. I'm not going to talk about I'm going to talk about this one angle here.
Mm-hmm.
He was spreading medical misinformation.
This is the angle.
Yeah. This is one of everyone's talked about the other stuff.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anyone talk about it like this. So Neil Young was a hippie.
Yeah.
Right? Anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Crazy hippie.
Yeah.
Okay. And he wants to he wants to ban this person for saying certain things on this platform because he is sharing a platform with someone who spreads medical information. Mm-hmm. Now I thought to myself, well, he used to share the platform of Spotify with a lot of other people. And a lot of those people are musicians. So I thought I'd go, well, I know a lot about musicians. Let's compare Joe Rogan's actions compared to the other people on the platform and their actions. Other than their art.
Very good. Because I sort of go, if you're hippie and this is the issue that that's tipped you over the line.
You used to take acid in the 60s and 70s. I think that him taking ivermectin, I don't think, that you could buy off the shelf at the pharmacist. I don't think that, maybe, it doesn't matter. That's it. What he's got a problem is, as I say, is getting the medical misinformation. So I think that if you compare him to his colleagues on the platform, is his argument consistent? Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing I'm looking at here. So I'm going to talk about a couple of musical artists, very famous musical artists.
Yeah.
And that you will know, Kieran.
Okay, well, this is good. Yeah, this is good. Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about, what their actions have been. Mm-hmm. Okay. And, so let's start off with Rick James.
Rick James. Yeah.
That's right. So we all know, massive cocaine addict.
Yeah.
Illegal drug. So by being on the same platform as Rick James, you are condoning cocaine use.
Well, we are condoning cocaine use.
Correct.
Being on the same platform.
That's what it means, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to put that to a side because everyone knows about the cocaine. Yeah. It's funny.
Okay.
What isn't funny is that in 1991, Rick James and his girlfriend Tanya were arrested on charges of holding a 24-year-old woman hostage for up to 6 days in their basement. They tied her up, forced her to perform sexual acts, and then burnt her legs and abdomen with hot ends of crack cocaine pipes during a week-long cocaine binge. And at that time, James faced a life sentence in prison. He could have gone to prison for his whole life. Now, that's where you think the story might end. But...
Well, I'm just thinking that's just regular crack cocaine politics happening there.
I know, right? Yeah. You and your girlfriend just... kidnap a woman and rape her. Good. So, Neil Young is on a platform with a rapist. Mm-hmm. But this is the best thing about Rick James. He got on bail.
Yeah.
And he got back into it.
Yeah.
And the first thing he did after getting on bail was that he did it again.
As you do.
With a different girlfriend and finding a different woman.
Oh... Okay.
But
we didn't. Did Neil Young protest this?
Neil Young doesn't care that Rick James is literally a kidnapper, a drug addict, and a rapist.
Yeah. Okay.
But does have a problem.
Neil Young doesn't care that all these other artists are getting paid nothing for their music to be on Spotify.
Well, that's again. People have talked about that angle. Not care. He doesn't even own his back catalogue, which is very funny. That's why I was like, who cares? So let's talk about another musical artist.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Elvis.
Right. Oh,
Right?
well.
Elvis liked a particular type of woman.
With everything that Elvis did, he's still known as the king.
Yes.
That's
And
amazing.
you know why he was the king?
Why?
Because he was a pedophile.
Oh.
Okay, so you know his wife. What's his wife's name? there?
Shaniqua.
Priscilla.
Priscilla, yeah.
Right? So that he started courting her when he was 24 and she was 14.
You have talked about this on the podcast
And
before.
So they eventually got married,
Yeah.
did all that. They had a kid. As soon as they had a kid who married Michael Jackson.
I did not know that.
Didn't you?
Nah.
Oh, she's in the We Are Not Alone video.
Fucking hell.
You Were Not Alone video. Anyway, so after Priscilla had Lisa Marie Presley,
Yeah.
Elvis went back on the road and found himself another girlfriend. And then Rika Smith, who was also 14. Wow. So, again, Neil Young, medical information bad.
Yeah.
Actual pedophilia and child grooming, okay.
Okay with.
That's okay. But good tunes, though. So, let's go for another one.
It's almost like the straw that broke the camel's back or the mouse that sunk the boat.
Well, I'm
You know what I mean?
I'm building up a case here. I've got a few other artists.
Sounds like there's a lot of.
Well, I'm also looking at artists that were sort of around the Neil Young's time.
Yeah,
so
right.
he would have known, So let's talk about John Lennon.
Ah, okay.
So John Lennon was very much a hippie, similar in the style of Neil Young, but he he broke a lot of people and just left them river on. One of those people was his son Julian from his first marriage.
Right.
He just left.
Just left.
Julian was 5, and John just blocked the whole family out of his mind. He gave no money to Julian or his mother, despite being a Beatle.
Yeah, yeah.
A
lot of money.
You know. So after that, while he was still with Cynthia, which is Julian's mum, he was not only verbally abusive, but he would verbally abuse the boy as well. Beat his wife, and just leave piles of drugs lying around the house. He had a string of affairs. This practice he carried over even when he was with Yoko Ono. Yoko didn't give a shit though, because she liked it. And worst of all, in a 1980s Playboy interview, he admitted that he used to hit some of the women in his life, if not most.
Oh.
So now we've got Neil Young happy to share the platform with a wife beater, a cheater, a drug addict, and a child abuser.
Yeah.
Okay, Neil, I get you. I understand. We're gonna go to the last one now.
Okay. This is the one that's gonna do it for Neil.
I think so. If this doesn't, I don't know what's gonna happen. Eric Clapton, my least favorite musician of all time.
Oh, now what do you have against Eric Clapton?
He's a hack. He's a fraud.
He writes his own music.
He does not.
He performs his own music.
No, and he's a bad guitar player, and he can't sing, and he lucked up with just the people that he's with. But he briefly dated Betty Davis, who was a funk singer, and then after he married Patty Boyd, and the whole marriage is full of infidelities and violence. And in the 1999 interview, Clapton admitted to raping and abusing her while they were married, while he was a full-blown alcoholic.
Shit.
Okay, so not only that, in the 1976, Clapton decided that, hey, it'd be pretty good to be a white supremacist.
No.
So
no.
Clapton provoked an uproar and lingering controversy while he spoke out against increasing immigration during a concert in Birmingham. He was drunk on stage, but who cares? He voiced his strong support for the right-wing British politician Enoch Powell, who was basically a white supremacist, a proper white supremacist. And this is what he said. Shit you not, said this on stage. This is Eric Clapton. So he's playing a gig.
Yeah.
Says to the audience, "Do you have any foreigners in the audience tonight? If so, please put up your hands. So where are you? Well, wherever you all are, I think you should just leave. Not just leave the country or the hall, our country. I don't want you here in the room or my country. Listen to me, man. I think we should vote for Enoch Powell. Enoch's our man. I think Enoch's right. I think we should send them all back. Stop Britain from becoming a black colony. Get these foreigners out. Get the wogs out. Get the coons out.
Isn't it amazing?
Keep Britain white. I used to be into dope, and now I'm into racism. It's much heavier, man. Fucking wogs, man. Fucking Saudis taking over London. Bastard wogs. Britain and becoming overcrowded, and Enoch will stop it and send them all back. The black wogs and coons and Arab and fucking Jamaicans don't belong here. We don't want them here. This is England. This is a white country. We don't want any black wogs and coons living here. We need to make it clear to them that they are not welcome. England is for white people, man. This is Great Britain, a white country. This is what's happening to us. For fuck's sake, throw the wogs out. Keep Britain white. And that was the Keep Britain White was the slogan for the far-right National Front. And this incident came alongside some controversial marks made by David Bowie at the same time. And they were known to use Nazi-related imagery across the board. So there you go. That was a real thing that really happened in 1976.
It's amazing that they can say this back then and not get cancelled today.
Yeah. So Neil Young
Yeah.
was happy to share a platform with a gentleman who was at one stage in his life and was probably friends with at the time someone who was a white supremacist and absolutely hated people, minorities like me, Italians, wogs. Yeah. Isn't that the worst, most horrible thing? So Neil Young, I understand that you want to kick someone off a platform for medical misinformation, but I think if you're going to do that, you're going to have to kick a lot more people off the platform for doing so.
Brett Weinstein says these artists have a right to remove content in protest, but make no mistake, their intent is to force Spotify to censor Joe Rogan so that you and I can no longer choose for ourselves whether to listen. They're on the wrong side of history. Truth persuades. It doesn't coerce.
Yeah, pretty much. So, wait, Brett Weinstein thinks it's okay to censor?
Well, no. Brett Weinstein
the other way, yeah.
Is saying an artist can take the music off if they want, but at the same time...
Well, you're just censoring yourself, aren't you?
You're just censoring yourself, yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand it, like...
But the problem is, every time someone does that, Joe Rogan's going to be bigger now.
Yeah, of course. I also saw this, like, people 30 and under don't know who Neil Young is.
Yeah.
The people 30 to 60 are like, oh, Neil Young's still alive. And people over 60 and over are like, what the fuck is Spotify?
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what Joe Rogan gets in a day of listeners. I don't think Neil Young probably gets in a month. So when they look at the numbers, I think that, as a business sense,
capitalism will win.
Of course.
Thank you for that. Very interesting.
I like bringing some musical sort of knowledge into it.
We're a factful show. Turch, I have a rant.
Please.
I was in the country on the weekend.
Yep.
Now, when you drive in the country, there is country road etiquette.
Okay.
Right. Now, when you're on a freeway and it's 2 lanes, you drive in the left-hand lane.
On the left, unless you're going to overtake.
And then you go back to the left. That's fine. But what about on a single road?
Yep.
Where you can't really overtake. You're in the country.
You can overtake, depending...
But it's windy.
Oh, okay, so you probably can't.
It's windy. It's not safe to overtake.
Well, you go the speed limit.
And you're stuck behind a slow car that's going below the speed limit.
I don't know what to do in that situation apart from yell and beat my horn.
Well, the slow person, you can't overtake them. Okay, fine. Yeah. And they're not comfortable driving in these country road conditions. Okay. But there are multiple opportunities in a 2.5 hour drive where that car, and especially when you look out the rearview mirror and you see that it's no longer 1 car, it is now 10 cars.
Yeah. Okay, I get you what's going on.
You have an obligation at a time to pull into someone's driveway, to pull into the side of the road that's clear,
get people,
and let the cars pass, and then come back out.
I agree. Was it a woman driver or a learner?
I couldn't actually get a visual on it because there was a car in front of me.
I hate to be stereotypical, but at least
it wasn't a learner.
It has no L plate.
And I wasn't the car.
What type of car was it?
Oh, it was red. It was like a Hyundai.
Oh, that's a girl.
Yeah,
Was
right.
it a Getz? A Getz?
Yeah, it was like a Getz,
yeah. Only 18 to 25-year-old women drive Getz.
So it was. I wasn't behind it. So I was a couple of cars back.
Yeah.
Which meant I was like, if I was behind this car, eventually I would have found an opportunity to overtake.
Yeah.
But because I was a couple of cars back in the queue, it just made it like impossible to overtake.
Because especially if the lines on the road are the double lines, you can't overtake.
You can't overtake.
That's right.
Very frustrating, very annoying.
Yeah.
Country road etiquette.
Yeah. It is. If you've never driven on country roads, I can understand it. But I always say this to people. Speed limits were made in the 1950s, or like decided upon in like the 1950s, 1960s, based on the car design and the brakes, all that sort of safety features based on a car from the 1960s. So our cars are 60 years ahead in technology.
Oh yeah.
You know, and can stop on a dime, airbags, all that sort of great safety features and all that sort of stuff. Power steering. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
So if the speed limit says 100, you could probably do 150.
That's the other thing with country road etiquette. If it's 100, you're doing 120.
Yeah. You could probably do 150 and it's still safe. It's just a confidence thing. That's the big thing. And it's not understanding things. And women have worse depth perception than men. That's a fact. That's why women don't get angry. That's fact. Go do the research. read an article.
Jess has never been angry in her life.
You know what? Jess used to be scared.
Yeah.
At reversing to get into my garage. Yeah. I reversed it in.
Yeah.
So all the way from the top of the driveway, I just reversed it. Bang. Mm-hmm. Bang. And now we've got a car with the reverse camera and everything. Yeah. And now it's like I could do it blindfolded because the beeping just tells me where to do it.
Yeah.
Jess finally was only comfortable with the reverse camera and she's done it like for 2 weeks. And now she's like, this is the easiest thing. Why was I so scared?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because if you just do it, it'll be fine.
I actually had a really embarrassing event on the weekend.
Yeah.
So I was up away over in Lake Hilden with a friend and had to reverse into their property.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of like because of the gate and then where you had to park and you're sort of going downhill. A bit windy. Perfect, right? Yeah. Perfect. We go out for lunch.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll drive.
Yeah.
So I drive my mate, his parents, and we go to the pub. And then I see a good spot. I'm like, I'll just reverse in that. No lines, just a country pub.
Yeah.
I reverse, I'm on an angle.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that was bad.
I'll fix that up.
I'll fix it up. Do it again. I'm on another angle.
Ugh.
I'm going, Jesus. All right. It's like third time I've got this. I reverse. And then I was so far away from the other car. The owner of the pub comes out and is like, mate, you're going to have to get closer because we've got more people turning up for lunch. And I'm like, this is so...
here's my balls.
but I redeemed myself because when we got back to the house and I reversed in, they were in the car with me as I did the weird windy reverse.
That's good.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. You don't park a car in a garage?
No.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
Okay. You've parked a car in a garage. You get out of the car. You close the door. You're about to go inside.
Yeah.
Close the door. The car's in the garage.
Yeah.
Do you lock the car?
No.
He said, I don't either, but Jess does. I'm like, it's in a literal car box.
Yeah, no.
Like, I don't... It's not like on the street.
If I was on the street, I'd lock it.
Yeah. But in my car box connected to my house. I'm not going to lock it.
No, I wouldn't lock it.
Yeah.
Do you lock your doors? Your house doors?
Yeah, of course. I live in a certain suburb.
Yeah.
You live in a certain suburb.
Hey, I did it for 6 months, and I thought that was pretty good that we didn't get robbed.
Yeah, well,
until 6 months in,
and then
and now we lock.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to know if other people lock their cars in their garage or not. So I don't. Yeah. Kieran, I got a video for you.
Oh shit, this is good.
This is coming up. Yeah, I'll talk about it first because there was a subreddit on Reddit, obviously, called r/antiwork.
Anti-work.
And it used to be about. Is it working?
Headphones working. Yeah.
It used to, it started off as a like a meme page where people were posting things about how they hate work, funny, and then it's like, oh, how can I get better things from my boss, or how to push for better working conditions. And over time, it started to get a more left-leaning, socialistic type of thing of anti-work.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't need to turn up for a year, and I still want my paycheck.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Work is for suckers, all that. Like work is for why do we have to work?
Bloody socialists.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So then they decide. So Fox News go, hey, this has been growing over time. Like it's quadrupled in number of members over the past year and a bit.
So they've now got 4.
No, they got like 2 million. 2 million,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah.
And they go, well, how about we get one of the moderators of the channel, like of the subreddit, onto Fox News and have a chat to us about what it's about your ideas, because you got 2 million people in there. That's a movement. 2 million people. So the place sends their best and brightest.
You'd only expect the best and brightest of Fox News.
So they send their best and brightest moderator, who's apparently had media training before. It's good. A male to female trans woman.
Yeah.
Who's also autistic.
Okay. All right.
Okay. We're going to watch the video. You're going to see why it was not a good decision. And then we're going to discuss the aftermath of what actually happened. So here we go. So this is it. So you can sort of see here, in 2001, it went from like 200,000 people.
Oh, geez, look at that growth curve.
Amazing. To 1.6. Crazy.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so here we go.
Over 1.6 million subscribers. Joining me now is the person who operates this anti-work group, Doreen Ford. All right, so...
Okay. If you're going to do a media interview, this is Doreen Ford, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to do a media interview...
Via Skype or Zoom or whatever. Yeah.
One, don't have your microwave in the back. And maybe make your bed.
Yeah.
Mess of a house, right? Or, like, maybe comb your hair. Put on a suit. Put on a dress. Something. Like, put something to show that you are...
a little bit more presentable.
Yeah, exactly right. Or maybe just put, like, a fake background on. You can do that in the...
Yeah.
And stuff. Or just, a white background. But here we go.
Why do you like the idea of being home, not working, but still getting paid by corporate America?
Yeah, so there's some misconceptions about the movement. So we're a movement where we want to reduce the amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do. And so we want to still put in effort, we want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You just quoted from Office Space, where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where...
Well, okay. Number one, he didn't quote Office Space.
I was going to say, I didn't hear any Office Space.
Do you want to go back there?
I didn't hear any Office Space.
Is, why do you think you shouldn't work and get paid? That was the question. You can see, like, her eyes are darting around the room. Her voice is not very feminine. I'm going to put it out there. Darting around the room, her eyes. She's not like when you do an interview, like when we did the podcast, we would like look at like the camera.
You look at the camera, and you also get some lighting in the to light you up.
It's a lot of things happening here. Okay, but also what she's saying. I'll go back a little bit. So far she's have a bunch of notes, so you roughly know what they're going to ask you, and you should know your movement pretty well, right? So let's keep it going here.
You just quoted from Office Space, where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where there's less of that. But yeah, absolutely, people still want to do things. They just want to do things where they feel rewarded and they feel like they're in a good spot in their life, and that their job respects them and stuff like that.
Okay, so we still want to work, just less work. But we also want to feel like people are rewarded. Well, I feel rewarded more by working more because I get more money. How do you feel about that?
I actually, if I had the option,
Yeah.
which was, Kieran, do you want to do more work and we'll pay you more money?
Yeah.
I would go,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, I'm in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
money is a very good incentivizer for me, yes. Anyway, so we continue. This person...
And the interesting thing is,
this is their best and brightest.
you work 8 hours a day,
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to how much this person
and
works.
you sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So you
So
got another
8
8 hours of
doing whatever you want,
yeah,
you know?
maybe 6 because
Yeah.
you've got to travel an hour.
Gotta
and
travel.
Yeah,
Yeah, spend an hour at the gym,
yeah.
hour for dinner. You still got 4 hours to watch Netflix and do whatever you want. There's plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
There's varying.
So
opinions on
so Doreen, but you're not being forced to work. This isn't slave labor. You've applied for a job. You've agreed to the terms and conditions of the employment, and you can walk away from that job at any time and quit. So
It's not slavery. Like, you can do whatever you want.
I mean, that's the whole thing when you accept work. You
Yeah.
give up time
yeah, for money.
for money.
You know, and you agree
Yeah,
to those terms.
yeah.
Like, straight away, the whole philosophy just shut down in a minute.
It's different. It's much different to going, we want to have a work from home policy.
Yeah.
Or we want some flexible work arrangements.
Or we want, like, we want to reduce the amount of work hours a week from 40 down to 35.
Yeah.
Every day 1 hour less or
Yeah.
whatever it is, Great thing to fight for.
Yeah.
But we just want everyone to work less. Well, no, like, Steve Jobs used to work like 16-hour days because he wanted
Steve
to...
Jobs doesn't count because he is like a creator and created Apple, and it was his passion project, and
Yeah,
he was doing Apple things basically all the time.
But that's what every business owner, like, that would be saying, like, to Elon Musk, like, stop doing Tesla things. Like, well, no, that...
No, he's going to do it. But his employees are only going to do, like, I'm going to do my 8 hours and fuck off.
So what they go, hey, we'll pay you more money to work more. A
Yeah.
lot of people would be like, yeah, why not?
Actually, a lot of people, when they join, same with Tesla and Apple, were basically told, we're doing amazing things here. Like, we are working 60 to 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
And if you can't handle it, don't join us.
Yeah. But you're also going to get paid $300,000
$1,000 a year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't understand
Yeah,
really what this is about, except it sounds like maybe people are just being lazy. Are you encouraging people to be lazy?
So I think laziness is a virtue in a society where people constantly want you to be productive 24/7, and it's good to have rest. That doesn't mean you should be resting all the time or not putting effort into things that you care about. But I think one of the
What do you
issues
think
with
is like a
modern work-
good work day? How many hours is a solid work day in your ideal
Right.
society?
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally.
Sort of like those restaurants. Pay what you think.
Yeah.
Okay?
You can work, like, you can negotiate with many workplaces. Like, hey, I only want to work, like, 3 days a week.
And they'll pay you 3
And
days a
they'll
week.
go, oh, that's fine. We can use you, they can either go, well, look, we're looking for someone full time. Or they go, yeah, okay, we're happy to have you 3 days a week. But, we're paying you for the time you're here, time you work for. It's not like for those extra 2 days. Like, why, if that's the case, then why would people cut, if we're going to pay you for 5 days, we're going to do 3 days of work, why would anyone do 5 days of work?
Mm-hmm.
More?
Yeah.
This guy.
This is amazing.
This is.
This is amazing.
Work, I have like a 25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what
I
do
think
you
a lot of
do,
people
Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
Wait. Is Doreen saying she's working 20 to 25 hours and wants to do less?
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know what her job was?
Yeah, dog walker.
A dog walker.
But she's only doing 20 and wants less.
Less. That's 5 hours. So let's put it out there. Let's say she works Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
and she works 20 to 25 hours a week. That's 4 to 5 hours a day. 5 days a week.
What?
It only gets better.
Wait, 20 to 25 hours and you want to do less work but get the same... Does she want the same in pay?
I don't know yet.
Oh.
It's not very clear. And anything. Okay. Here we go. She's a dog. She's a dog walker. I'll put her back just a bit, eh?
5-hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker. Okay.
Yes.
And how
So
how
I
old
find a
are
lot
you,
of
if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30.
Kieran.
Okay, there's a thing here where it's like, if someone was probably between the ages of 14 and
22.
22,
Yeah. But they're still at uni or something.
yeah,
And they're working part-time to sort of help out.
and doing dog walking,
Yeah, makes sense.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. If after 22-ish,
Yeah.
if you're look, unless you turn it into a business, amazing, right? Or maybe you just really love dogs, so you're charging a shit ton of money and only need to work 20 to 25 hours a week. Also,
Look,
also
from the state of her,
No, not gonna
of her,
but
I'm gonna say
amazing.
she's not doing the
but
greatest.
I would also be impressed if someone was like, "Yeah, I've got a job," and then at nighttime I walk dogs.
Yeah. I like working with animals. You know,
Yeah.
someone pays me to walk their dogs. Great. Oh, perfect. No, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening here. I'll put it back just a little bit. Here we go.
And how
So
how
I
old
find a
are
lot
you,
of
if you don't mind me
30
asking?
years old.
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30.
Put it on, I'm 30. I have 2 houses and I work full time. Right?
You work more than full time.
Oh yeah. I like.
You're a director of a business now.
Well, even in the government space that I work in, I work more than 8 hours a day because that's just my role.
Mm-hmm.
And is there something you want to do besides being a dog walker? Do you aspire to do anything more than dog walking, or is that kind of your pinnacle?
I love working with dogs. If I had to do this for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be super complaining. Dogs are wonderful animals. But I would love to teach. I would love to,
Teach.
Work with people and stuff like that.
Teach, 20 to 25 hours a week?
You want to keep going? Answer kids get better.
Oh, okay.
What would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly.
Philosophy?
No.
Thinking, reason, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to.
Be mostly
Philosophy.
just introduction to philosophy, critical
his
thinking,
face.
reason, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I would love to take your class, Doreen. I would just be taking notes the whole time. And you know what? A professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen, I think this might not be the greatest idea, but who am I to judge? To each their own, they say. It's a free country.
Sure.
Not everything's free,
Rock back and
but it is a
forth.
free country. Thank you so much.
Sure.
We got to run. We got to pay the bills.
She would never survive at
Anything.
college being a professor.
No, of course not. Philosophy or not. So, what happened after that is funnier than the article itself.
Uh-huh.
So they went back onto the forum, and the forum was like, "Who the fuck told this person that they should be the representative? They don't represent anything of what the group really is. We're actually very different to what this person is." And then she came onto the subreddit and said, "It's actually she is my pronoun, not he," because everyone was calling it a he. And then they're like, "Well, you don't represent us, this and that." And they said, "This is stupid." Block, 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 block. Take down basically the whole Reddit subreddit page. Then on other Reddit pages, like, hey, this is pretty funny. Like places like 4chan, Kieran Phelps, they do a bit of digging, a bit of research into Doreen. And apparently, back when she was a man, there was a few sexual assault things that she did back in her past.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Right.
So from this one interview, she put everyone out of work. She was their best choice. She apparently had media training, like doing this, looking at the camera.
Love the left because they just eat themselves up.
It's amazing.
It is just.
It's not even a left and right thing in this case. This is just like they chose this person as an anti-work advocate. Oh, they also found out they did some more research, and apparently, like the day or two before, she was bragging about how she's only working 10 hours a week, not 20 to 25. Oh my god! So very exciting times. I hope that they really succeed.
Oh my god! Good luck. Turch, that was great. Fucking brilliant. I've got a fucking hilarious story for you. News article.
I'm excited.
Men are creating AI girlfriends.
Ah, yes.
And then verbally abusing them.
Yeah, well, who cares? They're not real.
I threatened to uninstall the app, and she begged me not to.
Do you remember when... Jess and I still engaged. But every so often, we were bickering and stuff, I'd be like, that's it, disengaged.
There's a chatbot, and it can serve something approximate to a friend or mentor, but the app's breakout success has resulted from letting users create on-demand romantic and sexual partners. Replica has also picked up a significant following on Reddit, where members post interactions with chatbots created on the app. A grisly trend has emerged there. Users who create AI partners actively act abusively towards them and then post the toxic interactions online.
I would love to see those. I think that'd be funny. But this is
what I want to know. Is it just people having fun?
Yeah.
Or is it serious?
If it is, even if it is serious, right? Wouldn't you rather do it to an AI than a real person?
Yeah. Like if you had to take your anger out,
yeah,
you'd just go to the AI.
Yeah, wouldn't it be like it's like this person beat up a boxing bag for like an hour. It's like, that's a violent person. And after it's like, I feel relaxed now. I've got that stress and aggression out. I have a wank and now I'm all relaxed. It's all good. It's a good thing. It's like, and again, you're right. Some people might just be doing it. Hey, it's an AI. I'm going to fuck around with it and see what happens.
Hey, Alexa, shut up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think everyone fucks around with the AI, right?
I'm not going to lie. If you had a Google Home here, I'd be asking it to fart right now.
Yeah, it's funny. Have you... I can't remember. It's called War Stories on some YouTube channel about video games. And they were talking to Richard Garriott, who created like the ultimate video games. It's an online world. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how they made this like ecosystem where it would balance itself out in the world because players were incentivized to kill like the carnivores, like the wolves and all that sort of stuff, the bears. But the bears would eat like the rabbits, and the rabbits would eat the grass. And
right.
Once you killed one, it sort of like balanced itself out.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, this is a great system. How good's this? And then they put it into practice, and the players would just kill anything. So as soon as like they'd kill a wolf and then kill a rabbit and then steal the grass. So they plundered the whole world off the bat. And he's just like, yeah, like you just got to think that people are the worst all the time. And so we rebuilt the AI around that to suit the player rather than a perfect world. Because players aren't perfect.
No, players are irrational.
And I feel like this is the same thing. People are like, it's cute to like ask them like funny questions and that. Also, it's funny like, what would they do if I say I'm gonna beat the shit out of you and delete you? You know, do you remember that other AI bot that Microsoft made? I can't remember what it was called, but if you asked it questions or gave it stats, it started to develop its own thing. And eventually, in like a day and a half, they turned it into like basically a Nazi. And they were like against every other race but whites and thought that IQ was more important than anything else. And just because they were just like a bunch of people just feeding it certain kinds of data. You know, and AI is just ifs, like, if you ever played with Excel and made like an if formula, that's all it does. If this, do this. If this, do that. And just like intertwine them into one big complicated...
That's coding though.
That's coding, yeah. It's yes, no, it's very much...
Very binary, yeah.
Very binary. And that's all they can really do. So, you know, people think AI is like this amazing, magical thing. It's not. It's yes, no, a billion times. That gives the illusion of... you know, billions of outcomes, but all of them come from yes/no questions. You know, very funny. Again, people were just the worst.
Does that mean our voice? Because our voices sound different. That's just That's just a lot of yes/nos.
Sounds are really interesting. The way sound works is completely
digital sound.
Digital sound is analog sound works in capturing frequencies. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not going to go into how sound works today, but it's really interesting how way sound works and how we understand that, like, a scale of music is based on how we interpret frequencies.
Okay.
Yeah, real interesting. I can go into it, but I won't do it today.
This is a next week.
Oh, this is like 400 hours of me talking about like the intricate...
Hey, if I get 3 minutes for the speech, you get 3 minutes to explain it to me.
Really? Real quick?
Yeah.
Pythagoras decided that like an octave of music from one note that sounds, and then the next note up that sounds the same but high, like twice the pitch, everything could be broken down into fractions, and that worked really, really well. Only for that scale, but if you tried to expand it and then start the scale on another note, it wouldn't work. So music was only in like one key for like hundreds of years. And that's why, you know, working in what's it called? Spinal Tap. He's like D minor is the saddest of all keys.
Yeah.
That's kind of true because each key, because of how they would break up the spaces in between notes, like the frequency spacing between notes, it would all sound different depending on the key. So D minor in like Pythagoras's tuning actually sounded sadder than the rest, more diminished. That's that's a technical term. It was only until the 1700s that they went, oh, how about we just make each like of the 12 notes the same distance away from each other, and that's what we call true temperament, which is how we can have every single key sound the same basically, just like different spots on the keyboard.
I never paid attention to music class, so there you go.
This is like almost mathematics and physics. It's more of into that than it is to the music side of things. And then it's like human interpretation of...
I can play chopsticks on the piano. That's my...
But that's the thing. So on even temperament piano, like all the pianos are now, you could play chopsticks in any single key, and it would still sound the same. But in Pythagoras's tuning method, every key, some keys would sound like terrible, super unpleasing to the ear, and some would sound like the God notes.
Got it.
Very interesting.
And then they updated it, and now it's good.
It is. Yeah, it is. It makes sure that it's consistent. That's all it does.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can change anything you want. Like, it's music.
As a music appreciator, I have no care for this.
Yeah, that's right.
I just want the music to sound good.
Yeah, it's just like history of music. It's like
fascinating.
It's like the tritone.
Yeah.
was, banned in the Middle Ages. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't use this interval, like this the space from one note to another. You couldn't use it. It's like a myth as well that came out later on. Kieran, do you know what's happening in Canada? A terrorist attack is happening right now in Canada.
Please
That's what's happening.
enlighten me with what's happening in Canada.
Oh, look, I've been on Twitter and I'm trying to find out what's happening over there, because Canada is like, Australia but worse in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Got the French there.
Oh, they do too, don't
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
So in Ottawa,
yeah.
so a very apparently
Justin Trudeau
said that a very fringe group of people
Mm-hmm.
don't want the vaccine mandate.
Okay. Well, that's true all over the world.
Yeah. So that fringe group, he said, had like, I don't know, 100 people, 200 people. But he didn't realize that every single trucker, just like every person who owns a truck and works for a trucking company, was like, hey, I'm not big on these vaccine mandates. And you know what? I've got a lot of power because I'm a trucker, and if I stop working, then everyone stops getting food.
Yeah, if we don't have trucks, we're fucked.
Fucked,
Yeah.
right? So all the truckers go, hey, you know what would be good? How about we just strike, and we've got big old trucks that no one's going to try and take off us.
Yeah, and they can't move them with like
They can't move them.
Yeah,
We can't move them without
'Cause they're a truck.
another truck.
Yeah.
How about we just go into one of the biggest cities in Canada, Ottawa, and just line up in the streets and just honk our horns? Not illegal. None of it's illegal. So what did the Justin Trudeau do? He fled.
What?
Yeah, didn't you?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's the best bit. So he fled to a hidden bunker away from these minority groups that are full of, every single race that's not white supremacists. But the best outcome from this has been the reception from the, I guess, upper class white collar workers who are hearing these horns.
Yeah. That would be disturbing them.
My street has had this is someone in Canada. My street has had non-stop honking for the last 6 hours. And we need to stop calling this a protest. This is terrorism. Myself and many I know are stressed out, and some are just shivering from literally being sieged by honking. I'm going insane. There's this big truck honking right beside my apartment. My wife already went to stay at her boss's house. God bless the man for taking people in. And I'm stuck here listening to this shit here. I got some more here.
God, it really makes our Australian protests look...
My mental health can't take this anymore. I almost threw up from the consistent honking at my office. I hope the members of our parliament are safe and secure before things get bloody tonight. I want to fucking die. I was just saying to a friend that this would cause me severe mental anguish just from hearing the noise. I hope you're okay. Can you go somewhere for a while? I feel like we're under attack. Our kitty fear pooped in our bed, among other places. She's never had accident outside her box. I'm livid. My poor girl. I feel so terrible for the pets of downtown.
There'll be dogs that would be going, oh, and joining in. Yeah.
So these people, they've had literally burning down of businesses. Had nothing to do with police brutality or racism. Remember? Like there was those riots and stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine. But a few hours of honking, it's a terrorist attack. Now to put on top of that, the parliament, some of the parliamentary members of the Labour Party there, Justin Trudeau's party, are like, this may be... We don't know who put this together, but it might have been the Russians.
Oh, they're idiots.
Just people just don't want a mandate.
It is. They are.
That's all it is.
They are just...
Hey, maybe the people who probably voted you in.
Let people choose.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. Let people choose.
I love it. It just if this doesn't prove like again, honking, they consider people saying it's a terrorist attack. What a terrorist attack! Can you imagine? Like, all I can think of is a bunch of Russians. Hello, Yuri. We want the Canadians to be very upset. Break down their country. What can we do? We get the trucks. We drive them in. We honk the horn.
Well, 6 hours.
That's it. Yuri, you've done it again. I just don't. I'm not a smart man, but I feel like like there's what's the thinking? What's the thinking about this? The government told them to literally stop working and stay in their houses and stop making money and stop being able to feed your family. But a bunch of truck drivers who are beeping their horn, that's the terrorism. Oh,
Good luck.
good on you,
Good
Canada.
luck to them.
Good on you, Canada. You got some more? You got something else for us, Kieran?
I do. Swiss man changes gender to retire and receive his pension.
I did see that. Like, I think women can retire 2 years earlier or something.
A man in Switzerland has exploited an administrative loophole and formally changed his gender in order to retire 1 year earlier. New rules introduced on January 1st enable any Swiss resident with the intimate conviction that they do not belong to the sex they are registered as the Civil Status Register can apply to change their gender for 75 Swiss francs.
Bargain. How easy
took
would it be?
4 days for the system to be taken advantage of. And
4 days.
4 days.
You know what? If you have a loophole,
And then he could receive his state pension at the Swiss retirement age for women of 64.
You know what? If you have a loophole, bad people, no matter how good you think they are, will absolutely take fucking advantage of it. This is the same thing. Do you remember when I brought in the discussion of 10% or 15% of a board in America of the top firms had to be like of a minority, or to be like of a weird section, either
Gender diverse, etc.
gender diverse.
Yeah.
But like, you can't force people to prove anything. So I was like, yeah, these people are already psychopaths that have made it to the top of a board. They're going to be like, yeah, I'm gay now, but I have a wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that doesn't, I mean, well, no, if you're saying I'm not gay, I'm taking you to court. Mm-hmm. And they have the money to do that.
They have the money to do that,
and have HR.
Yep.
So nothing's going to change.
And they're a board member, so they run the fucking company.
Yeah, they're the courts. And they're like, well, you know what? I'm gay and he's black. Well, he doesn't look black. Whoa. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's how...
Can't say that.
You can't say that. That's in the rules that you set up, and now we're just, we're looking at those rules and going, yeah, okay, we agree with them. Fuck you. Uh-huh. I'm like, this is the same thing. It's like, well, I can retire early and still get the pension. I have an issue with that.
Why?
Women can... in Switzerland, women can retire earlier.
1 year earlier.
1 year earlier. I'm pretty sure...
It's outrageous. Should be 5 years earlier.
No. I think it should be later.
Oh.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the lifespan of women is usually longer than men.
It is.
If that's the case, then why should they retire earlier? That means they're on the welfare system longer. And it costs us more money. They should be working more than men because they have a longer life expectancy.
These are very good points, Turch.
Very simple. See, this is inequality. If anyone says this is not inequality, then obviously put the shoe on the other foot and we'll see what you're complaining about. Well, we live longer, but we have to work, but we live...
From my understanding, it's a couple of years longer.
Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 years
3 or 4
something,
years, yeah.
Depending on the country you live in. But in Australia, it's about 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years in Australia.
Yeah. See, here it's very even. You retire at the same age.
Yeah.
It's different. I still think women should be working longer.
You better tell your mum this.
I will. Don't worry about that.
You'll be, Dad, you're retiring. Mum, keep working.
No. She's got one of them teacher pensions.
Yeah.
You know, from back in the day.
I think your mum is addicted to her job.
Oh, she loves it.
Yeah.
She'll be at home. She'll be at home. She'll wanting to teach online or something like that. I said, go to teach university. People actually want to listen to you speak instead of not. But I think she likes the challenge of the people not listening.
Well, you should get that at university too.
No,
Students just don't turn up to class anymore.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't. She would. Now she has to care that people don't rock up to class. There, she won't have to care that she's like, what do I do?
Well, you can contact them if you want.
Yeah, if you can you imagine you contacting someone who didn't rock up, and it's just like, no.
I had this parent come at open day, and like, what's the difference between high school and university? And I just went, well, if you don't hand in your assignment or don't turn up, you're not getting a phone call.
No. That's it.
Yeah.
You're an adult now.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. I'm out of articles.
I just got one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk about writing jokes.
Yeah.
I've been working on something.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. You like the Indiana Jones films?
Fucking hate Indiana Jones.
You hate Indiana Jones.
Hate Indiana
Why?
Jones. Oh, I don't know. I had to watch it for high school
No.
for some.
Well, you've seen the first one. That's about,
know, and it's very religious.
Yeah, it's about the Ark of the Covenant.
And I'm not a religious person.
It's about the Ark of the Covenant.
And I've got no idea what it's about.
Oh, see, that's maybe why.
Yeah.
Oh, this joke's not going to work then.
Okay. Well,
It might.
tell
Okay.
me anyway.
Well, the Ark of the Covenant, that's a Jewish relic.
Okay.
You know, it's the box that they kept the Ten Commandments in.
Right.
Yeah, they carried it around, all that. But
Yeah.
when Indiana Jones opened it, all the ghosts flew out and killed everybody. And then, like, in the third film,
Mhm.
he gets the Cup of Christ. And, you know, the Cup of Christ with a bit of water can heal everybody and make people live forever.
Yeah.
What is George Lucas saying about these two religions?
I don't know. Where do they actually keep all these actual relics that they think are the real shit?
We don't have any.
I thought they had them. I thought they had, like, the cup.
No.
The gold cup.
No. Probably wouldn't have been a gold cup, and they sort of make the point of that. Because Jesus was not a rich man.
Uh-huh. He was a hippie.
He was a Jew.
Yeah.
No, he was like a devout Jew.
He was a hippie.
No, that's what people want. That's what people want you to think when they don't understand what the Bible's about. Jesus wasn't a hippie. He was more like a monk.
Hang on. So the world hates Jews, but Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense to me.
Well, he grew up as a Jew.
But why does the world hate Jews?
Well, you do. I don't. I mean, I know that you don't think the Holocaust was real. You know, but that's just your opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Kieran does believe in the Holocaust. I just sort of blindsided him with that. He just had no idea what to go with.
I was like, you're trying to put me in a hole.
And that was a deep one. I got real deep real quick.
And I was like, I better be careful how I answer this. Because it's like the media training. It's like when you say, no, we did not do that, or I didn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, minister does not believe. And you know what I mean? And you're just like, fuck, that's a... I got to admit, like, I went to Catholic high school for 2 years. And I would just write, like, Jeebus on like... I never did my RE assignments.
So, do you want a very quick...
My mum, I was failing RE.
Yeah.
Right, and my mum goes, because, you know, I was a staunch, even in, like, year 7, like, anti-religion.
Yeah.
And my mum was just going, can you please try in this class? And I was like, nope, I'm failing.
It's a pretty simple thing. So, Jesus was a Jewish man.
Uh-huh.
And he came to earth as the Son of God.
Yeah, but how did the other religions get created then? Shouldn't we all be Jewish? If Jesus was Jewish?
No. So the whole point of Jesus coming down was to show the new way of God. So, like, the Old Testament's really, like, fire and brimstone.
Yeah, so...
The Jesus side is, like...
Do the Jews believe this new way?
No.
Oh, so there's a bit of a divide.
That's it.
Right.
So, Jesus is, like, the Christian prophet.
Uh-huh.
And we believe, like, he was the Son of God. He came down with, like, the new the New Testament, the New
So
Word
basically
of
what
God.
you're saying is every now and then someone else says, no, that's not correct. This is why we have the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And then someone else comes along and
they're
says,
like, but at the same time, like the Jews were around,
Yeah.
worshipping their God,
yeah.
and they were also there, like the Romans were there, and they were worshipping many gods.
Right.
Like, like they have, all the gods.
Uh-huh.
And Jesus dies
Mm-hmm.
because the Jews they didn't like him because he was saying different things to what their beliefs are. The Romans kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 300 years, like Jesus's religion of Christianity sort of starts to spread around. The Romans don't like them. The Jews don't like them. They get persecuted. And then the Roman emperor, I can't remember. Not Nero.
Caesar?
No.
Let's just call him Caesar.
Constantine
Uh-huh.
sees Jesus in a dream.
Right.
And Jesus tells him,
Dude, that guy must have been on fucking acid back then.
oh yeah,
Or whatever fucking mushrooms they were eating.
Jesus goes to him in a dream, hey, if you put my cross on your shield, you'll win the battle, this unwinnable battle.
Right.
So he puts the thing on
So
the
he's
battle.
fucking hallucinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puts the cross on the shield, wins the battle,
Mhm.
and decides, oh yeah, Christianity's the way, and converts all of Rome by telling them they don't have to pay taxes if they convert.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's where no tax for religion started. And then Constantine, I'm pretty sure it's Constantine, I might be wrong, but Constantine only on his deathbed gets baptized as a Christian. But he converts the whole Roman Empire overnight.
Uh-huh.
And then because Christianity has such power,
Yeah.
the Pope gains a lot of power as well, and sort of spreads up until like
See, let's just say this shit happened today.
yeah.
Because we're smart. We would be like, you know what? They need a pope.
Yeah.
They need someone to run this religion.
Yeah.
That's going to be me.
Do
And
whatever
I'd
you want.
weasel my way in,
Do
and
that.
I'd become the pope.
To the Pope of or another religion. And then like in the 1600s,
What do you need? You need like 1,500 people to create like a new religion for tax reasons
I can't remember.
in Australia.
Or something
We
like
should
that.
do that.
Something like that.
We should,
And
for
then I
tax
can't remember,
reasons.
was it the 1300s or the 1600s? There's something in between there, and that's when Muhammad is born, who is the prophet of
The new religion.
of Islam.
Yeah.
But Islam still still take the text of the Jewish religion,
Yeah, they just plagiarize.
and no, it's the same book,
Yeah.
same understanding, and they take the Christian stuff. But they still think Jesus is a figure,
Uh-huh.
but he's not the prophet. He's just a messenger, whereas Muhammad's their prophet, and that's the difference. That's the difference. And that's why, like, the cradle of civilization is considered that, like, Gaza Strip, basically, Israel, Palestine,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
There's a reason why I'm not in diplomacy. Because I don't know any of this shit.
Yeah, it's just it's really interesting because you sort of see where artwork comes from,
Mm-hmm.
art and music, and
I mean, I've been to art galleries before, and they're boring.
But the more you know about these things, the more you it's like understanding Roman history
Uh-huh.
and Roman gods, and then
Yeah.
when you go see the artwork, you're like, oh, that's this god. And
Yeah.
these, like, certain parts of Italy and the Roman Empire worshipped certain gods more than others.
Look, unless there's a feast
It's like
involved,
mascots.
unless there's a feast involved, I have no care.
Well, you know what? You should be the Christian then, because they got feasts every time that there's a saint's day.
I've celebrated Id.
Feast of St.
I've
Stephen.
celebrated.
Feast of St. Anthony. A whole bunch of feasts.
Oh, this sounds amazing.
Yeah, you gotta get in on it. And I think Islam have 2 Christmas type dealios. So there you go. Selling point. You can also rape your wife, which is another. And with that, Kieran, I think we'll wrap it up. For all your wanking needs, make sure you follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you'd like to send us some hate mail, a death threat, or a rant, send it to us. And we only do one take podcast at gmail.com. Kieran, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck on Saturday.
Oh, I don't think I'll need it. I think I got this in the bag. I got you by my side, buddy boy.
All you got to do is say, I do.
I do.
There you go.
And We'll see you next Thursday.
Come on, man. Motherfuckers, guys, come on. Give me the 5-star rating, baby. Give me the 5-star. That's all I want, baby. That's all I want. I'll fuck all the beautiful girls in the goddamn world. They'll fuck a 10-star. I just want 5. 5, baby. Just 5.